Southwestern Action Group presents the Fenceline Hardcore Community Open Mic segment right here on www.caribbeanpulse.net. Let your voice be heard. Join us now as we expose the truth.
Attention, experience incredible new music.
From Trinidad to the world, welcome to the hottest new platform on internet radio.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of
Caribbean Pulse Global Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to Caribbean Pulse Entertainment, service provider for all occasions. Digital broadcasting, audio song recording, PA systems, live performances, and much more. To advertise with us, call 1-868-341-7894. Email CaribbeanPulse21@gmail.com. Quality and customers is king. Check us out today at www.caribbeanpulse.net.
Do you wanna be my girlfriend? Yeah. Friendship that never ends. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you will be mine. Sing it again. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Oh man, if I'm in love you're looking for, well then that you will find. Search deep down in the desert of mine. My love is so pure and truly divine. It's one in a million and one of a kind. The love that may have the almighty design. Keep you in front and not behind. Open up your eyes, no matter what like you're blind. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Sing it again. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Listen, my love is something that no money can buy. Girl, you woulda never get it, no matter how you try. Spitting at the sky, it's a go fall in your eye. King Solomon, he never take some fight. Look at the truth, me attack and me not tell no lie. Say me, oh my, them I wonder why. I you like I you a give I the blind. Show me say you deal Rastafari. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Sing it again. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Listen, the woman who me honor, woman who me love, the woman who I'm always thinking of. The woman is a blessing, she come from above. Filled with God's sweet and tender love. Say wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. They give thanks and praise to the God above. They give thanks and praise for this woman who me love. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Sing it again. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. Girlfriend, I wanna be your boyfriend. I wanna be yours. Say you'll be mine. my girlfriend, yeah. Do you wanna be my girlfriend? I wanna be your boyfriend. A friendship that will never end. Do you wanna be? Do you wanna be my girlfriend? Girlfriend.
Welcome to Caribbean Pulse Entertainment, service provider for all occasions. Digital broadcasting, audio song recording, PA systems, live performances, and much more. To advertise with us, call 1-868-341-7894. Email CaribbeanPulse21@gmail.com. Quality and customers is king. Check us out today at www.caribbeanpulse.net.
Give me all that size you're maintaining. Give me all that size you're maintaining. Girl, you look like you have been training. Certain things you have been abstaining. Every muscle that you've been gaining makes you look like you have been working out, you're working out, working out, you're working out, working out, you're working out, working out. Give me all that signs you're maintaining. Girl, your mind made up and you're moving out. It's a beautiful thing you could do without. Then you had enough and you're leaving him. What you didn't know you would join the jam. Well, he's in for a big surprise. When we see you now with that size, want to come back and take a slice. When we see how you looking nice. Give me all that size you're maintaining. Give me all that size you're maintaining. Yeah, you look like you have been training. When you see you, girl, it must be in him. Every muscle that you've been gaining makes you look like you have been working out, you're working out, working out, you're working out, working out, you're working out. Give me all that signs you're maintaining. You made the sacrifices and do it out. I know the times you said they gon' put you out. Well, now your mind made up and you're leaving them. What you didn't know you would join the jam. Yes, he's in for a big surprise. When you see you now with that size, want to come back and take a slice. But no fool cannot fool you twice. Give me all that size you're maintaining. Give me all that size you're maintaining. Girl, you look like you have been training. All those things you have been abstaining. Every muscle that you've been gaining makes you look like you have been working out, you're working out, working out, you're working out, working out, you're working out. Give me all that size you're maintaining. Now you're on the road with your costing one, cause you didn't know you were paying down. You let your colors fly when you cross the stage. Next time you see you is on the front page. Girl, lift your leg up and raise your hand higher. He can't stop you, know if he try. Cause you fed up with all them lines, and your limit now with this guy. Give me all that signs you maintain. Give me all that signs you maintain. You look like you have been training. Certain things you have been abstaining. Every muscle that you've been gaining makes you look like you have been working out, you're working out, twerking out, you're twerking out, working out, you're working out, twerking out. And give me all that size you're maintaining, cause you're working. World statistic, coronavirus cases, 701,239,753 cases. 6,965,500.
In the fight against the corona, we was number one in the world. What really happened a little later? Things just spiral out of control. Leaving the borders wide open, ignoring all of my calls to lock down the entire country and to postpone the carnival. So they went ahead celebrating as though nothing was going on. Coming down Juve morning, Trini's having a ball with the election around the corner. To me that was the whole idea. Losing so much innocent lives, paying the ultimate sacrifice. Cases suddenly start appearing, people panicking everywhere, running like some headless chicken as the cases keep on rising. The death toll keep escalating, followed by the SOE. Mandate mask, not even vaccine could not control COVID-19. WHO had their part to play in all this mayhem and lack of way. It have a saying, God is a Trini, tornadoes just pass by we. COVID prove everybody wrong. Surprisingly, all churches closed down. Shepherd leading the flocks astray, taking the jab because pastors say, putting the trust in them scientists, supporting spiritual wickedness. The population on the agenda, mandate vaccine and 2 booster, like protein in them formula. Disclaimer from manufacturer Johnson, AstraZeneca, Sinopharm and also Pfizer. Madonna played a major role to destabilize the entire world. As the cases keep on appearing, people panicking everywhere, running like some headless chicken. As the cases keep on spiking, the death toll keep escalating, followed by the SOE. Mandate mask, not even vaccine could not control COVID-19. Big farmers had their part to play in all this mayhem and lack of play. Do the introspection, doctor. Research black death and Ebola, HIV, AIDS and the Spanish flu. Still no vaccine for me and you. Social distancing and sanitizing. COVID rapidly keeps spiking. Somebody please answer my question. This is a bioweapon. Underlying comorbidity. People dying out suddenly. All over the world, people suffering. Hospital full and overflowing. Storage filled to capacity. Almighty God have mercy on me. Righteousness exalt a nation. Go beyond to these evil men. As the cases keep on appearing, people panicking everywhere, running like some headless chicken. As the cases keep on spiking, the death toll keep escalating, followed by the SOE. Mandate mask, not even vaccine could not control COVID-19. Innocent children dying each day in all this mayhem and lack of way. Southwestern Action Group presents the Fenceline Hardcore Community Open Mic segment right here on www.caribbeanpulse.net. Let your voice be heard. Join us now as we expose the truth. Very good night to each and everyone, and welcome to our segment again, the Southwestern Action Group, each and every Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on www.caribbeanpulse.net. That's the link, and we are inviting you to stay tuned with us tonight as we discuss issues and everything that is affecting our community. Let me say a special good night again, and welcome to the broadcast, the Southwestern Action Group, as we know it, every Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on www.caribbeanpulse.net. That's our link, and guys are asking you to share the link. Let's know what's taking place in your neck of the woods. And of course, we are asking you all to, call us at the number that we will advertise later on to make your input as well on our segment. So guys, here we go. We're on the inside, and of course, we know we're doing Calypso, we're doing cultural activities, we're doing politics, we're doing a little bit of everything, and something from the Caribbean Pulse engine room coming to you from the man, Selvin James, aka Brother J. Yeah.
This is what I want. No longer do we share a love for one another. No longer do we call each other brother, sister. Caring and concern disappear from the page. Is only envy, jealousy, and plenty rage. This unity appears to be the goal to be achieved, with plenty bitterness added to it. Would you believe we have allowed the politicians to create this situation, like nobody here care about building this nation? But not me. I want back Trinbago the way it used to be, with I looking out for you and you looking out for me. Patience and understanding were the twin pillars of life, and we punished anyone caught so in racial strife. Tell them, boy, yo. Disrespect now appears to be the order of the day. Disrespect with folks telling you yes, that is the way. Freedom of speech is taken to mean that you have license to denigrate, pull down, and what the hell happen. Your views you boldly dispense with venom throughout the land, hiding behind a clause in the Constitution. the land. It sure is a very tragic situation. But not me, I want back Trinbago the way it used to be. With I standing up for you, and you standing up for me. Patience and understanding were the twin pillars of life. And we punished anyone caught so in racial strife. Tell them, oh yo, all I want, that's what I want. Good examples we must set for all youths to follow. Good examples of substance, solid and not hollow. Let's stop creating in them a backyard mentality. To sing and say what the hell you want about anybody. Rebel with or without a cause have now become the norm. So easily into that form or youth conform. They say the future foundation has been built upon anarchy. If we don't call a halt, that will be the legacy. But not me, I want back Trinbago the way it used to be. With I looking out for you, and you looking out for me. Patience and understanding were the twin pillars of life. And we ignored anyone caught pushing racial strife. Selflessness among people is a precious commodity. Selflessness must be exercised throughout the whole country. But we always in a hurry, quickly going nowhere. So our neighbors cry for help, you know we cannot help. Rat race, you're sure to hear somebody say, this concrete jungle sure to collapse on we someday. Survival of the fittest, here is only the strong survive. And it's hustle, jostle, struggle just to stay alive. But not me, I want back Trinbago the way it used to be. With I standing up for you, and you standing up for me. Patience and understanding were the twin pillars of life. And we ostracized all those caught so in racial strife. Tell them, oh yo. That's what I want.
Balabadei, balabadai. Mass illiteracy in this country affecting the youth in society. I'm talking to young people here in this land. I want you to give me your attention. You're raping, you're shooting, you're kidnapping. Too much of movies all you're watching. Forgetting education, that is the key to be successful in society. So as a concert parent, this is my plan to save the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. We must invest in them children today, because if we don't, we will have to pay. We must invest in them children, I say. Role models is a scarce commodity in this modern society. Single parent unemployment seems to be the norm. Children live unsupervised and I could go on. I saying failure is not an option. It's your choices and making good decisions. Building a stronger society, we need to have have a stable economy. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To save the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. We must invest in them children today. Teach them the watchwords of this nation and to live up to greater expectations. We need to encourage the youths of today and protect them from going astray. Teach them the importance of family values, to persevere in whatever they do. The sky is the limit, that should be your goal. Put aside all the negative things of this world. Remember, you could be what you want to be. It's you who in charge of your destiny. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To save the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. We must invest in them children today. As we pledge our lives to thee, living in peace, love and unity. Peer pressure is a difficult thing today. The friends that you keep could lead you astray. Being different, having challenges along the way. Determination will bring you success one day. Be responsible for your own actions and be able to rise to the occasion. Every action has its repercussions. We as parents have to lay down the foundation. So as a concerned parent, this is my plan. To save the future generation. We just cannot continue in this way. Don't allow bad influence to lead you astray. And may God bless our nation as we move in this positive direction.
So guys, the message is in the music. As the man says, yes, it's a big song. Yes, coming from one of our very own, from the community tent, the Bird Sky So tent. And as we move into tonight's proceedings, I just want to welcome the guys on the Calypso with me. And we have online John Williams, there's the man Ishmael, and our marketing personnel, Mr. Russell, himself in studio with me as well. So good night guys and welcome to the broadcast.
Good night everybody, how are you going tonight?
Yes, so the guys online, and it is Mr. John Williams and our very own brother Russell Ramkisoon. How you guys doing?
Well, I good, so far so good. Country in a mess, but going still.
Oh yes. So, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome, good night, and welcome again to the Southwestern Action Group. And we are the Hardcore Fence Line Community Open Mic every Tuesdays and Thursdays as we speak. So guys, what's up at your neck of the woods?
Well, I actually wanted to talk about something pertinent, Brother Mark.
Uh-huh. Well, feel free, there's the forum for it, This is the forum, this is the open mic hardcore segment, yeah?
It's really a question to do with the performance of the government.
Oh, and you're posing that question to
all representatives of the government.
Right, very good. Nothing wrong with that. We taking that. We entertaining that, man. We taking that challenge as head on.
Okay, well, so I'll ask then. Why did it take 8 years for you all to start projects in the communities around the country? I see in the agro-processing down on the side in Palo Seco, the roads and them started pave automatically. All the drains and them cleaning. Why it take so long? why did it take so long for you all to get and do what all you mandated to the people at Trinidad and Tobago to do? Because if I look at it from my perspective, in the last 8 years, we almost spent $1 trillion, and value for money is very, very important. But I'm not really seeing the value in the investments that the people at Trinidad and Tobago give to this government. So it's just something I want to ask. The whole design of things, it seems that the government is not for the people. And I'll say why that is my opinion and not the opinion of Caribbean Pulse. Because in development, they have lacked the foresight, they have lacked the assistance, they even lack the coordination to execute anything that is substantial in our people's development and our progress. Now, if anybody decide to argue with me on that, I just want to ask if you feel comfortable the way how things going in the country, and would you feel comfortable passing away and leaving it as it is to your children? And I think that is really what a government's supposed to do. They're supposed to pave the way for the next generations to progress, because we're not world class at anything except corruption and scandals. So I'm putting it out there that my opinion is that we have not received value for money and no accountability from the government whatsoever when it comes to accounting for our finances, our projects, and they have no reservations when it comes to insulting and insinuating ills to the people. So, and I just me, not Caribbean Pulse, me, Russell Ramke, soon saying that. Brother Ishmael? Brother Ishmael there? I guess. No, go ahead.
Uncle John. So by the meantime, we're waiting on the response from the guys on the Calypso. I just want to reiterate on our segment. This segment is the fence line, and it is about freedom of speech. It's about exercising the democracy on a virtual platform. And we are not. I want to remind the listeners that we are not controlled by any political entity. We are a concerned group of guys who getting together to discuss. People doing all kind of different stuff with the social medias. People they're doing all kind of stuff. And Brother Russell, the number to call tonight is available, right? Yeah. So we have a number 327-8141 available to you, the listeners out there. So you can call us now or during the show. Send us a text. Send us your voice note if you're not sure about calling. It is WhatsApp or regular. You can call. Yeah, the number is 327-8141. And the line is open as we discuss and we move forward. Mr. John Williams, are you in any position to respond to what Mr. Ramke Soon just made mention of? Or you want to talk about your community? And I will address some of the issues. I will address some of the issues as well as I will, say my part of the stuff as well. But I'm still leaving the lines open for callers, yeah, and to be a part. Let us know what's taking place at your neck of the woods. Tobago, what's going on, Sister Lady IB on the inside, and just keeping it nice. Tonight is Tuesday night. It is the Southwestern Action Group Fenceline Hardcore Community Open Mic brought to you every Tuesday and Thursdays right here, 8 p.m. on www.caribbeanpulse.net. So the music in the background that went, we had a.k.a. Dave was the blender with Investment, a positive song for the positive minds. We had Selwyn James, What I Want, and that was a big question as well. So, guys, I know it is kind of a hard pill to swallow, but we need to really know what's going on, in our beloved Twin Island state. Trinbago, let's hear it from you.
I wanna fall, I made some observations on some issues in this country. Just like a nightmare, these issues start haunting me. Some say when the PNM was in power, across the board there was equity. But today, like the nation's treasury, stop filtering down to me. Budget of 61 billion can do so much things for we. Get rid of cronyism and move away from nepotism. While politicians' primary focus is to create that division, distracting us from major issues that need urgent attention, like cost of living and the healthcare, minimum wage and the pension plan. So now that 61 billion, to these issues we must pay attention. Yes, that 61 billion, to these issues we must pay attention.
So, Brother Kisun, that song, like, it answering some of your questions or not? This song in the background, it answering some of your questions. This is a question that was asked in Calypso, and it was a presentation, I think somewhere 2016, somewhere there, 2015, 2016, somewhere there doing the partnership in tenureship. And the budget,
Calypsonian did a wonderful job.
The budget then was $61 billion. $61 billion. Now, give Jack the jacket and give Jill the apron. All right? Now, in 2015 to 2020,
yeah,
during that 5 years period, we had the partnership amalgamation.
No, 2010 to 2015.
2010 to 2015?
Yes.
Well, then that song could be around 2012, 2013, somebody.
Yeah, but I will say this.
During the partnership was
from 2010 to 2015.
2015.
And then PNM government
took over from 15
to
currently. Thanks for the correction. So what I wanted to say is based on performances from 2010 to 2015, like you correct me, thanks again. We saw a lot of infrastructures, that was established by the partnership.
True.
Fair is fair.
Fair is fair.
Right? We saw the Point Fortin Highway construction begin, the Point Fortin Hospital, the Shiva Boys School. We saw the South League of the University of the West Indies. We saw the Children's Hospital built.
The Aquatic Center.
Right. We saw
the cycling room.
Right. Help me. Go ahead. And then we saw
well, in the Baka, all the drainage and the infrastructure parts, some parts of Trinidad that had flood, they became a thing of the past because of the box drains and stuff that the partnership government installed in those areas.
We saw the rural communities littered all the recreation grounds, most of the recreation grounds.
I forgot that.
Yeah, they were littered with the highlights and so on and so on and so forth. Even in my community in Palseco settlement here, our
the ground,
our savannah, our recreation ground is littered, and it was done then.
And that the ground that does have Palo Seco sports on.
Right.
Right, that ground.
Right, definitely so.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to believe that during that time the oil refinery Petrotrin was still in operation.
Yes, it was.
It was still operating. So that means to say that there was some sort of activity down at the beach camp facility. You used to be housing the Petrotrin workers, some of them.
Yes.
I want to guess.
Yes.
Now, going in this direction based on...
I really wanted to know why I went in that direction.
I went in this direction because based on the question that you asked.
Oh.
You asked a question because you are aspiring young community person.
Yeah.
And you has a lot of interest in your community as well as in what's going on politically in your country.
True.
And that is so good to see a young person having that kind of aspiration and ambition. And you even was brave enough to mention your name to the listening audience. And so many positive comments coming in and supporting what you just asked. I say that to say that let the record show. And like I said, when I made my introduction, give Jack the jacket.
Yeah.
And give Jill the shirt.
The apron.
The apron. That's what I'm saying. Right.
Apron.
Thanks for the correction again. So, let me say a special good night to our senior counsel, Mr. Russell Cover, who is out in the U.S. for a couple of days. So, he probably might join us a little later on. And to all the listeners...
Good night, senior counsel.
Yeah, man. To all the listeners, Mr. George Maraj and the whole crew from down in Toronto up there, Connector Vibes and all the guys up there as well. And across the sister island in Tobago, Lady IB and the entertainers, Calypso tent, the masters and the Bacchanal tent, the community tents. One thing that I wanted to specifically make mention of again, in 2010 to 2015, for the first time in the history of Calypso, we saw a Calypsonian walking away with $1 million or $2 million as a first prize.
What?
Yeah. During that period of time, the Monarch prize for the Calypso and Soca Chutney and all of those competitions were $1 million. And like I'm telling you, I want to be honest. I want to be fair. I want to be as transparent. I want to be on the fence line.
Well, I want to ask you something though. Did Tuco and all the other cultural organizations have issues for funding like they have in issues now?
Not to my knowing. Not to my knowing.
So during 2010 to 2015?
Yeah, not to my knowing. And even prior to that, yeah. But what I'm focusing on...
Well, we had a compare, you see.
What I'm focusing on is the price. The $1 million price. Idea.
That is where it come from.
Yeah. The idea to give a Calypsonian who, well, I personally know the mighty Sparrow, the king of Calypso of the world, I think he won the most titles. But here the gig in that. In those days, Mighty Sparrow taking home a Coca-Cola can, and if it's $10 for the first prize. A Coca-Cola can representing a trophy and $10 or $5.
Never $1 million.
Never $1 million.
Wow.
And I could even go into further awakening the brain and the listeners as regards to who authorized and give the Trinbago Unified Calypsonian Organization the authoritative power, which is written in the cabinet minutes,
Yeah.
that was done, you might have to correct me again, under the Basti Pandey administration. Now, I go in there to just to reflect that every time that the PNM was not there in that period of time, that 5 years period of time, something significant happened.
In culture.
For culture, for the country.
And sport.
And sports. Agriculture. And rural development.
Infrastructure as well.
Right. So, I hope that helped you with your question. I hope that helped you with your gathering of your intelligence, because I know that you have a lot of stuff in your mind.
It did. I actually do have a lot of stuff in my mind.
So as the how you could say it, as the host of the program, I want to be fair to you, to the listeners, and to me, because I have a concern as well. I am a grandfather of 5. I am a grandfather of 5. And my grandchildren, they are the ones who I am interested about. And I am very concerned about the direction and what is happening in our community and in Trinidad and Tobago as a whole. 5 and 6 murders a day.
We're on route to 1,500 then.
Shooting rampant, drive-by rampant, robbery rampant, and
theft rampant,
and
robbery,
everything that is frightening to the normal citizens who is open, who living in an open sepulchre, excepting the guys who surrounded with the security forces and the personal bodyguards, and they well equipped with the firearms and so on and so forth.
Well, most of them guys are state-sponsored.
And gated communities.
Yeah, but at the crux of it, crime is, I mean, I said it here before, crime is something that we does overlook because we become so insensitized to it. We could hear somebody get murdered, and some of us be like, oh, well, I was expecting not somebody to dead in Trinidad. That is how insensitized we get. And it doesn't paint a good picture for us when it comes to foreign investors coming in, and also the tourists and them who does come in for the carnival. Crime is a disease that's going to kill all of those things. And then the country will not be able to earn as much revenue as it should be earning for having those events. And it's something that we don't look at enough. And any government that could come in and say, well, we spent $7 billion on crime, we spent $10 billion on crime, it's not solving the problem, because the management of it needs to be addressed. And like many things in this country, management have a lot of things that it's not doing. And this is a general statement I'm making, but it could fit into basically any public organization that is run inefficiently.
So how you find I sounded when with my presentation with the balance that is there now? What is there before us as a developing nation? Now today, this morning, I browsing through the social media, and I saw a presentation that took place 10 years ago. Kevin Ramnath, he used to be a big politician. Remember that name?
Kevin Ramnarayan.
Ramnarayan, whatever.
Former Minister of Energy.
Right.
Yes.
He was in England, and he got my attention when he made mention that Trinidad and Tobago were in the oil industry business 160 years, and I always had it in my thought that it was just 100 years. But it's 160 years, and this guy went on to say that we were in the business of manufacturing and exporting oil long before Kuwait and Iran and all of these other countries down in the Middle East.
And that is why people just say Trinidad and Tobago is supposed to be the Mecca of the Caribbean.
So I had a concern with that, brother. I felt so Down syndrome, knowing that in so many years we plunder.
Pillage.
Yes. Advantage.
But where all that money gone?
And took so much a pride in doing what they did. Taking so much a pride in doing what they did.
But
160 years? Explain that to me. I mean, you are a young person, and I want to be fair with you.
I could account for 32 years. I could account for probably 30 years out of that.
So you see right here now, that's why I will be I am concerned.
Yeah, it's true.
I am concerned.
But why did we come out of the manufacturing business? Because Petrotrin was the company that used to be doing the refining of the oil. They closed down Petrotrin and they went into the bunkering business.
But what is ironic? When you look at I was looking again at the shares that the massive group of companies, the shareholders and them going home with at the end of the fiscal.
The profits?
Yeah, the shares. And it's in the millions. It is in the millions.
Actually, it's in the billions.
It's in the billions.
The massive group of companies.
And what they're exporting, what they turning over? Basic food stuff, grocery store, wherever. I don't know.
They are merchandising.
Merchandising and whatever.
Yeah, they're merchandising. So they importing and they're marking up sometimes 20.
And they are privately owned and managed.
Well, I wouldn't say they're wholly privately owned because news on the ground is that the massive group of companies is partially owned by the state.
By the state.
So,
but what I'm saying, we comparing the profit.
No, we must compare the profit.
We're comparing the prototype of the business.
All right. So let me look at it like this, right? If you importing something for $10, but it would cost you $3 to manufacture it in the economy. Manufacturing from the ground to the shelf. And you could charge your people $5 to make a decent profit, but less than what the import will cost them. Wouldn't you creating jobs? So the same, basically the producers, the people who producing it, would also turn around and become the consumers of it and the customers in the grocery store. So when you do manufacturing, you actually just add value to the raw material. So with oil is one of the best examples that it have, because oil, when you refine oil, it does get kerosene, it does get gas, diesel, aeroplane fuel. I wouldn't use the other word because some people don't know that word, but aeroplane fuel.
Mention it. Make mention of it.
No, trust me. That would be, we go be here a while.
No, we have international listeners.
Oh.
We have international listeners.
But when I don't want to digress, but when you take those things and you use 1 barrel of oil, you refine. No, let me say 1 barrel of oil costs, what's the oil price now, like $78 or something like that? So you will call it $78, right? When you refine that barrel of oil, those products from 1 barrel could literally make you $300 and something per barrel after refining. And the cost of refining would actually be included in that cost. So you add value to oil and you also add mechanisms in your economy to provide for other industries, like diesel or gas would be used in the logistics, even the farming industry. The gas is also used in cars to get people to work, and a politician coined this the multiplier effect, but it's basically downstream consumption. So when you do that, you could actually add value and improve all the other industries in the economy. So that is what they gave up when they closed down Petrotrin and the refinery. The foreign income earner is just part of it. It's a good part, but the part with more magnitude, I will say, is the fact that our fuel security was negatively affected because we don't produce those things no more. And now we become price takers instead of price makers. So our economy now start to depend on what other economies doing with the refined products. And the value of it obviously will increase. And the consumption would basically be the same. But the cost of it to us as a people would be substantially more because we basically buying somebody else's products. And that is why manufacturing in the economy is so important. Europe did it, France, Germany. Germany are masters at manufacturing. Russia also does refining as well. Those countries have fuel in their economy and the economy is grow all the time. Well, not really Germany and France because they actually buy gas from Russia. So it's really something that they took from us. Forget about the amount of foreign exchange it used to earn because while that has value, the ability for people to develop itself is substantially more in value when it comes to the products that that refinery was doing and the effect it had on the economy. Because gas was actually a controlled price. Now it's not. Sorry for pulling anybody head up with additional thoughts, but is the driving force behind the economy? One of the driving forces is gas and logistics. In this economy especially.
So, Mr. Russell, I will. Idea came to me, spontaneous. As moving forward, I will be doing some photo shoots with you to have you as a special guest on the Southwestern Action Group program as from now on, so that the people can see who is speaking and they will be able to identify with your goals and ideals. I mean, is your concern? You are concerned, young person.
Yes, I am a
and
concerned
it is important that we gravitate to these information that you distribute in there. So, guys, when we come back, we will be sending out some sad information about our community in Beach Camp that get burned down recently. So we're going to do a little short break and come right back with more on the Southwestern Action Group. Southwestern Action Group presents the Fenceline Hardcore Community Open Mic segment right here on www.caribbeanpulse.net. Let your voice be heard. Join us now as we expose the truth.
Attention, experience incredible new music.
Just crossing over in the sister island of Tobago to say goodnight to Sister IB and the entertainers Calypso tent as well, and to all the other community tents, cultural lovers in Trinidad and Tobago.
Look how long we wait for this Lego. We on Carnival in Tobago to display culturally we unique abilities. Well, look at bringing the old tambourine band. We road marching the whole island, calling all them ancestors to join this competition. When the spirit is here, you just can't run. Stand up and enjoy the fun when the tambourine let go. It's massing Tobago. When the spirit is here, you just can't run. Stand up and enjoy the fun when the tambourine let go. It's massing Tobago.
Yes, so everything that's happening for the Easter weekend coming up in Tobago, we supporting as well. Even though we cannot be there, let me say good night to Brother Tall Blacks who just joined us. Mr. Kalinda, what's going on, my lordship? What do you make of the words? I know I'm teasing you with that one, boy. Anthony Kalinda. What's up? All right, so we try to sort that out because we're not hearing you from this side at all, Anthony.
I will come in later. I just listen.
Oh,
you listen?
You don't hear but I listen now. It's all right here.
nice, man. Nice, man.
Yes,
Thanks for joining us. Brother Ishmael, John Ishmael, what's up with you?
Al John Ishmael.
Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, man.
Okay, well, a while ago you all wasn't hearing me at all.
No.
Sorry about that, but we just rectify that situation.
Okay, well, here what? I'm not a politician. I don't know much about economics and all them kind of thing, right? But what I could say plainly is that in the days of the father of the nation, Dr. Eric Eustace Williams, I think he left a template, you know. He left a template because in those times, as bad as we say it was, we had $55 billion in the World Bank, right? And to have $55 in the World Bank, it means to say whoever was shepherding this country was doing a good job, right? And now what we see happening, I think every political denomination who took up after him, no one had reached that amount of finances, right, in the World Bank. So it means to say something that they're doing wrong. I think they should more or less, they should aspire to do better than that, right? But up to now, the foundation that the late father of the nation built, you understand? We hardly elevating on it, right? So as I say, I don't want to get too much into the politics because I ain't no politician, but I am seeing deficiencies in every one of the nominations that come, every one of the politicians that come after Mr. Eric Eustace Williams. I'm a contribution tonight.
Thank you very much, man. Now, I know none of we is politicians here, but we are citizens, and everything that goes up, everything that is discussed in the houses really affect us, whether we ignorant it or not. And I agree that there were some deficiencies in the governments, including Dr. Williams' regime. But the wealth of the country really should not be where it is right now. I mean, people skipping meals. People skipping meals, children can't afford some important equipment and stuff to go to school. It getting challenging, and we have absolutely nothing to show for all this wealth we have in Trinidad and Tobago. And it is a scary thought to me as a young person. Well, not so young, I'm more closer to the 40s than I would like to admit. But I think that we should realize that our decisions now going to affect those that come in after us. Because those that come in after us will have a different world to live in. And that is my concern. It's really not about me as a person and what is there for me, it's for those that come in after us.
So Mr. Williams clearly stated that he has he's not a politician and he's have no experience in politics, but he made a very, very, very important piece of information came from you there as regards to the money in reserve. That's when Dr. Williams said, money no problem. All right? Money was no problem. And we also could look at the Heritage and Stabilization Fund that was brought about. I think that was during Mr. Manning's time.
Heritage and Stabilization Fund was Mr. Pandey.
Mr. Pandey again. Well, I stand to be corrected. You see what I mean? Now, what we have left is the big question. What we have left from all the nice trend that was set and was laid as foundation, I think the citizens of this country, the citizens altogether, deserve more respect, a lot more respect than what we are receiving now, especially when it comes to the delivery of goods and services from our representative that we, the citizens, go to the polls and stain our fingers for during that critical time of day and time for the elections. So I want to ask Mr. Russell a question here. I'm not sure if he might be surprised, if he not. Well, Mr. Russell.
Yes.
Are you aspiring in any way to be a politician, to move Trinidad and Tobago in any different direction that you're not happy with as a young person?
Yes, if that is what going to put the country on the right path to develop.
So you have aspirations to...
I would do it.
To be a politician?
I would do it.
And well, let us hear some of your initiatives or your ideas as towards what will be your presentation.
My vision?
For your community and for wherever you are elected to be a part of.
Well, in general speaking, I believe that water should be for all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, because water is life, and that resource is something that there are so much of barriers to it that it is disturbing to know that people right here in Palo Seco don't have access to potable water. Right here in Palo Seco. And other areas too. Now, I am from the constituency of Labrie. And Labrie is a major part of the industries in Trinidad and Tobago. And Petrotrin actually was part of the Labrie constituency. And we also have Atlantic LNG, Lease Operators Limited. We have so much transport companies down here. Is amazing to know.
What about BP and all of these foreign companies, Amoco, BP and all of these? You call those names?
No, the reason why I didn't call those names is because they're not really operating in Labrie in this constituency that I'm talking about.
Singling out
Labrie now.
You're singling out your constituents.
But if you go in general, BP, BHP, Billiton, Shell, those companies as well, Tucker, Halliburton, those companies operate in San Fernando as well, with the Well Services company as well. These companies operate and they're extracting resources from us, from our ground, our land. And the value of that to us is, while it is important for them to extract it, it is also important for the country to benefit from the resources of our land, because the people should have compensation, I would say, or a better quality of life with the resources that come out of the ground. If you understand what I'm trying to put around here. Because I'll put it here like this. If you dig in your yard and you find a piece of gold, that is your gold or that is the government gold?
Well, to answer that question in a nutshell, according to the policies, what is on your land supposed to be rightfully yours.
Right.
Yeah.
So why is it when foreign companies and local ones come and they find oil, why it is that they are the ones dictating to us what they are willing to pay us when it is our resources? I'll relate this to Africa, because Africa used to export cocoa to Switzerland, and Switzerland used to make chocolate. And the African nations came together and they said, We are not exporting cocoa to Switzerland anymore, and they actually stopped doing it. And what happened is Africa started exporting its own cocoa and refining it into chocolate. And the world, the only people that really miss Swiss chocolates is the Swiss people, because it created a problem in their economy. And that is the thing. But the African people maintain the value of the produce from their land, and they refined it, and they exported it, and they got back the value for their money. And saying this is one thing, but doing it is another thing, because the resources that we have and the access to the knowledge and the training that we have here, Trinidad could provide oil consultancy services to countries like Guyana and Suriname. And we didn't take that turn. Our country is very, very, the standard is high when it comes to the knowledge, but the value that we get back is not good. So, as I was talking about the Labrie constituency, some of the roads in Labrie, you don't even want to pass on that with a bicycle, because even the bicycle might be damaged. I was talking about water. How you feel about the year that we in? We in 2024, and a good portion of the community does not have a proper supply of water. How do you feel about that? And it's something that is shocking, because the Basi Pani regime had the water for all, and then now this minister, public utilities, Mr. Marvin Gonzalez, he started to talk about optimizing the water supply to all the areas and stuff. But we're not seeing anything like that happening. So it just feeling like now things are just pie in the sky. But Palo Seco, some parts of Arena don't have water either. Some people in Santa Flora, Quarry, I could go straight up the road. And this is not just my side of the country, is also the east-west corridor. Some people there don't have water. And I just water. Now, in the development of our country, the human capital index and the literacy rate is very important. So I believe that to stay competitive, we should have training centers for the youths and them who might not have been academically inclined, or the academically inclined ones who want to do vocational. They should have access to that type of training, and they could become the engineers of tomorrow. And when you do those things and you develop the industry, like how we in oil, we could also go into agro processing, and not the pineapple factory thing they're putting on. They are talking about proper agro processing, not just something to quiet people down. We're making products going to the international standards with the proper trained individuals to export the products out there and provide local supply as well. Because the farmers in this nation could tell you that they have wastage of products that when they grow and they sell, they just have like 35% of their products being wasted, and that is something that we shouldn't waste food, because that comes from the land, and people all over Trinidad starving and the world starving. We should really try to appreciate what we have, and then share it with the world. We have Caribbean culture down here, Caribbean Pulse Radio, but we have the Birds Calypso tent, Taddy Missionaries, Taddy is the Rainbow tent in Tobago? I stand to be corrected? Central. What is the correct name of the one in Tobago? Because I don't want to call them it. The Entertainers. Why we don't give these people and these groups the resources they need to train the Calypsonians and get our culture out there. Because in Labre and Trinidad and Tobago on the whole, we have a lot of talent that never does be developed and that could be utilized for the person's benefit, but more importantly, the country's benefit.
So, Mr. Amkison, let me ask you this question. It might come to you, it might appear to be a ton of bricks, but
no, nothing is a ton of bricks.
Right. I like your approach. I like your I like the way you're handling the questions. I like the way you're introducing yourself as a young politician and the method of approach. You're not talking down to anybody. You have it down packed, because I didn't see you reading from no document or nothing. So that means you have it in your brain. This is the fence line. This is the hardcore open mic. This is the Southwestern Action Group program. Mr. Russell Cover, the senior counsel, he is the chairman of this group. He fully sponsors this program and fund everything that is happening as regards to this program.
Yes.
Thanking him so much for doing so to support Caribbean Pulse Radio as well.
Thank
financially.
You,
right. So my question to you, sir, is today, as we know, Trinidad and Tobago is a two political party system. Which one of the parties that you will seek to associate yourself with? I'm speaking in this term because I'm looking at you and I'm looking at your outward appearance, and I know that you're very, very, very up to date with what's going on, and you sound to be very, very, very informed as well as to where you want to go and what you want to do. So either are the parties that you will want to rally with in the upcoming general elections.
Well, you really say it's a ton of bricks, but it's like 5 tons.
Really?
Yeah, it is like 5 tons. But I have to be honest to myself. And me being honest to myself, I'm not going to lie and disrespect anybody's intelligence. While I say that it had good times and bad times under both parties, looking at what each government did, the PNM government fought for independence with Mr. Capildeo. No, this through the history books. So if I line after the history books. I'm too young to know exactly what happened then, but they worked together and they fought and they got independence. And Dr. Eric Williams was Prime Minister for what, 30 years, about? Then it was Mr. Chambers. Then it was Mr. Manning, Mr. Pandey, Mr. Manning again, Ms. Prasad Bisasa, Mrs. Prasad Bisasa, my apologies, and Mr. Rowley. And the reason I say Mr. Rowley with that volume is because I would say that in all of history that this current administration, that is the PNM, I can't understand what they call in development. I would call a spade, and I can't see that I would like to associate with them as they are right now. However, on the flip side, we could analyze the UNC a little bit too, because I mean, yes, on the fence line. Now, I have only two times that the UNC or the People's Partnership government actually governed the country. Now, there was Mr. Pandey and Mrs. Prasad Bisasa. And I look at Mrs. Prasad Bisasa first, but she is most recent and she fresh in my mind. They did projects, good. They fought to get the highway done, good. There was the Section 34 scandal, not good. There was also one set of pulling and tugging in the people's partnership. Now, it might be callous of me to say this, but there were scandals, but the country actually saw some development. There was the Kuva Hospital, the Children Hospital, now the Kuva Hospital, the highway, for example. There was a lot of infrastructural work done. Now, under Bastille Pandey, I will mention this immediately because this is what everybody seems to remember. Bastille Pandey had the airport scandal. But it was dismissed this year after about 20 years. It was dismissed by the court. So I can't chastise them for the airport scandal. But I will always remember and I will always be grateful for Mr. Pandey standing up for the Baptist people and saying it is everybody's right to express and worship and have a religion, and he gave them a place and he gave them a day. Because here every creed and race finds an equal place. It's religion. But I would say I am disappointed that the past regimes didn't do that for the Baptist people before. Now, we have music that we like to talk about equity and equality, but equity would mean that everybody have equal opportunity and equal resources to acquire what they want to do.
Kizun, not to say cutting in on you.
I'm almost done.
I just wanted to.
I'm almost done.
All right.
1 minute.
Sorry, sir.
1 minute. Now, looking at the philosophies of the two parties, I would say that I would rather go under a UNC ticket because that party has been really the poor man's party, because a lot of things was done to assist the poor person, while on the next side the tax burden under this regime is really heavy and we're not getting any value for our money. And I hope that answers your question.
That's why I was trying to speed up. Right? I was trying to speed up. Yeah, go ahead, Brother Cali.
Right. Okay, first of all, I would say the brother mentioned about independence. Independence, who said it was it Capaldi and Dr. Williams got independence, may I ask?
Yes, they worked together. That was in the history books.
Okay, all right, right. Good. That is an error there. You made an error there. The error is when Dr. William went to the Queen for the independence, Capaldi went and tell the Queen, do not, because they would oppress the Indian people here. So it wasn't no them. Capaldi was against it.
It wasn't any. I didn't hear what you say.
They said they got independence. Listen to me carefully, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't they got independence. Dr. William went to the Queen, and when Capaldi heard that they were going to the Queen, he went and tell the Queen, do not. Are you listening?
I am listening to you. Loud and clear.
He told her, do not give us independence because they would oppress the Indian people. So Capaldi, when they went against independence because Dr. William was getting it, but the Queen still gave it to us. That is one. Two. Well, you know, Syrians arrived, Indians arrived, Chinese arrived, you know, everybody arrived, right?
Yeah.
So, but you see, Pandey, he's a clever man because he was an actor in England in his youthful days. So, I mean, you know, to twist and know how to get around human beings to sweeten them. So, the late Patrick Manning, he said, make it arrival day because no one race never arrived here. Everybody arrived. But what Pandey did, when he came into power, he did not acquire things right, but this one in particular, what he did, he switched it from arrival day and put it, he gave the Baptists that holiday, just to, you know what I mean, I will use music to harmonize the African people. And he said Indian arrival day. So I will just cut off there, right? If you want to answer, make an answer.
No, you see, the history books say that it was Capeleo and Eric Williams. So I could be corrected if I say the wrong thing. But the arrival day debate that would happen.
Yes, you were wrong. Yes, you were wrong. Yeah. Because Capeleo was against it. They didn't want it. He said it would have been oppressed by the black people here. And you're still young, so you're ready because I'm 60, so you know I all the thing in my head. And what Pandey did, I repeat, Manning said so do you think that one race alone arrived here?
No.
No. Rah. So you see, Pandey is a clever man. He gave Baptists a holiday to harmonize, using musical terms to harmonize them and hush them. And he said, Indian arrival day.
But Spiritual Baptist Day is not a rival day celebration, no?
Oh God, you're not listening to me. You're listening.
No, I mean, you could have your opinion and I could have mine. But I know.
No, but I said you are not listening what I'm saying. Listen, don't hear, but listen.
Mm-hmm.
No, but what's the relevance? What's the relevance? Now, when I had to come in here, I had to butt in here now because I'm trying to figure out that system of politics that we're trying to bring some justification to at this point in time, in this critical day that we have in front of us in Trinidad and Tobago and in the world, as a matter of fact. It is affecting.
Short about this.
Right. It definitely the conversation is educational, right? So we stand to be corrected.
Yes.
And that disunity and the method to create division between the two races, because I wanted to go a little old school when Mr. Ramkisoon talk about the water bringing out some amendment, finding some solution to the water situation. I had proposed in a symposium, in a tongue meeting that was held around that same time, when the Petrotrin drill they go drilling for oil and they didn't get oil, they get water. I wasn't aware that the water would be contaminated on any day and the chemical they would be using to drill the thing, but I think that they could have pumped it out and let that flow out and still pump that water from the water well for the farmers in the community of Palo Seco. Not even that. We used to get some water from the Petrotrin, and that was a written agreement for the community of Palo Seco settlement from the beach camp and so on and so on. And that and all is taken away from us today. Now, the nice method that the democratic system promote and keep promoting from then to now, it is so simple and it is so glaring to see that once we create that divide and rule, once we create that division and we cause that disharmony amongst Indians and Africans in this country, we will have political power and the democratic system will work in that meta form. But the prototype of world development status after 160 years of gas and oil. 160 years of gas and oil. Right? And we had other minerals asphalt, the pitch lake, right? I am looking at a poorly developed Twin Island state, but I could exclude Tobago out of this, And the reason for that is because when you go to Tobago, you're taking a boat on the port in Port of Spain, and you're taking 3.5 to 4 hours to reach across the Tobago. And when you get there, you will find like you're living friendly, your environment friendly, your everything friendly, because the place clean, the scene's clean, the roads cool, the beach houses, the accommodations, everybody cool.
And the safety is there.
So I just go on to kind of take out Tobago out of what we're talking about here. But this that going on, it's going on for too many years. Whether Capildeo went and tell the Queen, or Dr. William went and was favored by the Queen, that was a plan. The democratic system is a divide and rule system that working for a bunch of people and a bunch of people only. From then to now. Why can't we see this as Trinidadians? Why can't we see this and move forward and let us move away from that division, that divide and rule, and that race stigma that is keeping us in this position that is retarding the country?
And us.
It is retarding the country. It is not doing anything for the upcoming generation, for the younger ones, for the not so younger ones, for the older ones. Now we've seen so many discrepancies in all of the different medical care, pension plan, health care,
everything,
and so much of money passed through this country.
Yeah.
We were talking about earlier in the program, I stand to be corrected, Mr. Calendar. The only time that Calypso saw $1 million for first prize, or $2 million for first prize, was during 2010 and 2015 when the partnership was there. Whether it had corruption, or it had whatever it had, or who do what, is the first time in the history of Calypso a Calypsonian take home a package for a 15 or 10 minutes performance for $1 million. We saw the Children's Hospital coming on stream in Cuba. We saw a university started to build in San Fernando. And to date, after 8 years, even the Education Institute for the young people to develop their mind, for the southern children to benefit from the oil belt, a university. Where is the vision? Where is the vision of the leaders, of the politicians? Why are you so bent on maintaining this democratic system that is rotten, that is expired, that is of no use to the development of us? Put aside that.
Could you allow me to say one word, please?
Go ahead, my brother.
Possible?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. You mentioned to be right now. If I any part of Trinidad, good, and I drinking a water in a plastic bottle, I would squeeze it and hold it in my hand until, I repeat, until I see a garbage bin. I'll go in a business space and look for a garbage bin to put it in. Okay, that is one. Most Trinidadians, they are nasty. Am I lying? The majority are nasty. Okay, what's happening? Sometime last week in a car in Princess Town, an age-level man, stop a car. People, his family, go in the car. He had a box in his hand and a soft drink. When he threw it, and that is in the AM, and that is around Minister 9, he dropped it on the road. He dropped it. I was in the car, and I started talking, so God, what? It's a private car, it's a family car, so God, why you didn't leave it in the car? Most Trinidadians are nasty. I repeat, they are nasty. And just how they move on the street, not all of the majority, look at the place where they live. There is two. 3. You wouldn't know, but I was getting some problems with my business now. Well, you know what I went through, right? And I'm still going through. I had was to go by the Princeton clinic early Saturday morning. So I don't plan to say, see me, if I have to spend whole day and night, I walk arm like a scout with sandwich, nuts, and plenty water. When I reached there, I must spend half an hour, and the doctor was so loving. She said, just try to move here quick. So I said, Doc, well, I am a scout, I came prepared. And she turned to me so loving. And she did, I got an antibiotic, and here what's happening. I got the antibiotic in the dispensary there one time, and if I was to go outside to buy that, it would have been close to $500. And antibiotic was $70. But you see what I mean? I might be talking like a PNM here, but I mean, I am a PNM. Straight case. Because what's happening? I think it's $500 million. The night before election 2015, a man went to Panama. He was to do a water treatment plant up on the beach. Nobody studying them thing. $500 million gone. The night before election. Who gave it in? The great opposition leader. But you see, but anyhow, whatever hit me hard.
I know it's
I
nobody.
68 years, I'm happy.
It's not about hitting. It's not about your party loyalty. Neither. It's about my concern is, and what I was coming to conclude. What I was coming to conclude at is I was simply going to ask a question. Why it is that the University of the West Indies that was started by the partnership under the opposition leader, 8 years after that was almost 75 to 80% completed. Why it is 8 years after the People's National Movement, which you are a loyal
yes, I am.
A loyal member of. Do you think? Well, I'm asking the question across the board. Do you think it is political? Why they didn't try to finish it for the children in South to benefit and to improve the educational and to even assist poor children to get a university education? What do you think happened in there? Is it because it was started under the partnership, or what is the problem?
I heard you from the brain sharper than this quick. Okay, first thing I would say, now I just jump to come back here. Our judiciary here in this country are always calling on radio and saying it. Our judiciary here is a private school. They are a bag of jokes, and I was using what they are mocking pretenders. They're already here. Because why I'm saying this, in the outer world, ministers, prime ministers get in jail and they're jamming them. But in this country, I'm saying that to come back, but in this country, people in high places like ministers and big bourgeois people, a case would start and it will take 100 years to finish. And they will live their happy life. So, okay, now I'm coming back now to you. You see corruption? You see white collar crime in this country? It's one of the greatest subjects. And it's always happening in this country, white collar crime.
But a calendar?
White collar crime is a killer here.
But a calendar?
And you have to just now.
Yeah.
Wait. And in this country, unless big ministers start to make jail and the lawyers and the judiciary, in this country, unless big ministers start to make jail, and that will never happen. I repeat, I would die. I'm 68. I would die, and that ministers will have a case for the next 35 years, and it will just come and postpone.
So is it some law injunction that has the university stagnated? Is it some corruption, some law, some kind of thing, some court case or something?
It is what I'm saying, corruption in this country with all those big things you're talking about. You see corruption? That is the key in this country. That is the key.
But that wasn't what he asked, though. He asked if what was keeping the PNM government from finishing the university.
I answer. You hear answer?
All right. So
find out
you say white collar crime, but how are you?
Find out kickbacks. Find out kickbacks. Why you think this girl who was with I think was with the minister Wolf's Bachan, a nice young Indian girl, what was her name is boy, Health National under the PP government. She was working with I think Rambachan. He was in the minister I think of works. I think a young Indian girl, she could have been in her late 20s, was under shoes Rambachan. Hear me good? They were doing some up in the east of there on some big what was to be overhead pass and up around about. When she saw corruption and she told the great opposition leader, they kick out because she saw corruption. They kick out. Young people under Rambachan. They kick out. So you see, unless ministers here in a jail and they seize all their assets, we will be going on with this thing for the next million years.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're saying that, right?
I'm annoyed. I'm not going on this, but I am annoyed.
No,
the judiciary here ain't ready yet.
I agree with you when it comes to the judiciary, you know. However, it must have a standard.
The judiciary here not good. They ain't good.
It must have a standard, because if white collar crime is bad, which I believe it is, I believe that everybody that committed white collar crime should face the time. So, since we're talking, we could talk about the land date issue under the PNM, we could talk about the Section 34 issue under the PP, we could talk about the Johnny O'Halloran scandal. No, let me finish, because I let you talk. I let you speak, and we should talk about these things too, because we can't talk about just one side. I'm talking about every side, because corruption is corruption. If the live sport thing had corruption in it, and the minister there was responsible, he should be held accountable. However, what we should not do under no circumstances is, just because we align ourselves with our party, or them as we boys or them as we girls, and we should never make them immune to consequences for their actions. Because what we're talking about is white collar crime. And I could tell you, people commit suicide. They die and leave their children when people take money from them, because they bet their lives on the fund, on the thing, on whatever scam they had to do. And they kill themselves, and a child lost their parent, and that child was never the same. White collar crime is something very serious. So I believe that it shouldn't have favoritism when it comes to accountability. It must have a standard. And once you fall in the mole, we deal with you. Once you do something wrong, consequences for your actions. That is what I believe in.
Oh, gentlemen, looking at the time, and the program was very fiery tonight. It was very interesting, because you see, that's why we brand the program Defense Line Hardcore Community Open Mic, and we entertaining any politicians, any political party, any comments from anybody. That's what we entertain here on the Coliseum. So we're not bridging no gap. We're not creating no division. We want to hear from you. And my concern is, why tarnish and punish the youths of the nation of an education institute that would benefit and bring so much development to South? Because when we have to send our children, I have 5 grandchildren, and my grandson, he already graduated out this Benedictson. He's a very good footballer. He's a very bright guy, and right now he's working in a car wash. I have problem with that. That's my grandson you're talking about, working in a car wash,
And he have his subjects.
Right? The man have his stuff, right? Now, hear what I'm saying. To send my grandson to university in St. Augustine, we had to rent an apartment for him.
How much that costing?
We had to give him groceries every month, every week.
How much your rent costing?
Well, I don't know.
I could tell you how much your rent does cost you. $2,500 to $5,000 for the month.
And you're sharing a room.
That is why it cost for apartments of the $2,500. It had the cheap ones.
So you living in South, and your child want to go to a university in St. Augustine, that is what it's going to cost you. No. Unless you could pick them up and drop them every day.
No, that is a barrier.
Right?
That is a barrier for opportunity, because to go to university is an opportunity that will give you the chance to compete and get a better
degree.
Get a degree for a better salary, and even progress to your master's.
Right. So when we look at that, and we just talk about that, what about the other fees? I mean, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. You tell us, tell the listeners.
It have tuition fees, caution fees, then you have bills like food, and you might have to do transportation around the place, because you might have to go and run here and run there for this and that. Then you have to be on time, and it's a process for the individual who in the process and the person who is putting them through the university.
Right. Now,
and that is one student,
with the introduction of a South campus, right?
Yes.
That would have accommodated children from Rio Claro, Moruga, Guayaguayari, Cedras, Icacos. We're looking at the southwestern.
No, it's the whole
right.
The whole south.
Right.
The whole south.
The southwestern peninsula.
But the southwest, south,
right.
East, south. The whole of south would have benefited from.
When we're looking at what 8 years ago we should have had, and I said this already on these programs, we should have had at least the second set of children getting ready to graduate out of that university with their degrees and so on.
And annually they would have a steady flow of children to become the engineers and doctors and lawyers.
Then you could have tell me that there will not be anything visible as towards corruption. Why the university is not completed up to today?
I think that is out of spite. I will say that. I think that
I am on camera.
Politics.
I am on camera right now on my online radio station. I am the proud owner of Caribbean Pulse.
Yes.
And I am entertaining callers to call in and let us know what is your thoughts, what is your take, what is your next move, what is your decision to make your community better for your children and for your children's children, and stop monkeying around, and let us come together under one understanding that the resources that is there should be coming to us, not in the way it was denied from us for the last 160 years. And everything that happening in this country happening with divine intervention.
Yes.
The refinery was closed. We're not refining any oil. We're not getting any end product out of our crude, which is Brent crude, one of the best in the world. No kerosene. People complaining that kerosene is more expensive than diesel.
You remember regular gas?
Regular gas for the fishermen to go out there, that was reasonable and cheap, so that we could get fish at a reasonable price.
And that used to give us the reasonable price of fish.
And when we look at the first world developed countries, comparing to what is going on here now, hello politicians, hello opposition leaders, hello prime ministers, councillors, political people who have aspiration and who have ambition and wants to be a politician. Hello, contact me. Contact me tomorrow, please God, or tonight. And let us talk, because I need answers. I want to know why that university. And, another thing that I missed out. I was going there.
Must see if you think the same way. Go ahead.
The Shiva Boys School that is in Clark Road there that was started to erect. You know that Shiva boys in cricket, the Shiva boys in South was doing very, very well.
Cricket and football too.
Right. And those projects were started under the partnership. Those two projects that I would like any of the medias in Trinidad and Tobago to come down and highlight it. The Shiva boys growing up in tall woods, in bush. And when we moved down to Lubbock Trace, right in Separia, and you go up to that, the first school on the right, going up on the hill, they used to call it the Junior Sec. They started to build that as well. And that is in bush.
Yeah, it's on pause. Stand by.
Right? And we could go down the road, come down the road again. The refinery is right on the right side. I asked the transport minister the other night. What's his name, Mr. Rohan?
Mr. Rohan.
Where is the feeder from the SS Erin Road down in Santa Flora Palaceco to Erin? Where is that main feeder to the super highway that you all open in to go to Point 14? That the people on this neck of the woods could benefit and spend 5-10 minutes, jump on the highway, and in 10 minutes you're in San Fernando.
Oh, you're treating me like some outside churn.
I need answers, you know. I need answers.
Oh, you're treating me like some outside churn.
I need answers, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Trinidad and Tobago. I always want to say Trinidad and Tobago, but I'm proud of Tobago.
Of course I'm proud of Tobago too.
I am proud of Tobago and the standard it taken.
Because you know why? They put...
I am disappointed in the approach, this lately approach, where I am seeing our Honorable Prime Minister saying that there is so much of monies lying down dormant on people's personal saving account in Trinidad.
What happened to the right of privacy and the right to property?
That could be used for projects.
Are saying that?
Mr. Man, let me tell you something. This money that I have, that I work for and I save in my saving account, wherever it is. Let me tell you something, brother. All you see that road, all you going down there? All you see that road, all you going down there?
That's a trouble road.
All you looking for big argument, you know.
That's a trouble road.
So again, guys, time up. This is Defense Line Hardcore Community Open Mic people. We don't quarrel here.
No.
We don't argue here. We don't talk down on nobody here. What we talk is facts. We try to talk the truth. We try to stay on the right course. We try to give Jack the jacket and Jill the skirt. Two-party politics not working. None of the politicians today making sense. No recovery plan. Nobody speaking about constitutional reform. Nobody talking about developing and finishing the university in San Fernando. That work on the creek that is going on there right now, that piece of road, I saw that yesterday.
How much money they spent
that piece of road that the sea came back and take, that so many millions spent. That contractor who doing that highway there should not be paid unless that road is refixed. That part of the road. There is a part of the highway as you go up, you have to cut back in and one lane, that area, area the sea come back, and that is what we're looking at for the past 8 years. That is what San Fernando and South people, the people who live in deep South, where the crude oil is under our feet.
And the mineral well too, because the pitch lake is down the road.
I keep saying that. I could only talk for me because I
No, you're talking the truth.
I could only talk from my standpoint, and I could only talk to defend what I believe. Equity across the board. Gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for being on the program tonight. I want to invite the listeners, and I want to invite you to share the link and to invite your friends, your neighbors, and whoever you wish to listen to us every Tuesday and Thursdays right here on the frequency www.caribbeanpulse.net. Type it in on your browser, scroll it up, hit the play button, and you're on the broadcast. Remember, we are on the social platforms as well. Go back, watch the rerun, hear what we had to say tonight, share the link. And in moving forward, Remember tomorrow night we talking Calypso with Mr. George Maraj. Let's talk Calypso.
Calypso.
Our program taking up so much momentum in the North America area up there, USA, all over the
Canada.
place. Get some news today that one of my friends going up to Nigeria as well. Hey, Mr. Russell boy, like you join us when we're ready to lock off, boy.
I will succeed whatever time I have to.
Good night, man. I had to extend a few minutes for you, man, because I mean, being the boss. What's going on? You're missing in action.
Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry to be late, but I didn't reach home until after 7 close to 8. I had a dental appointment today and I was by the dentist since about 3:30 to 4. And a lot of work now.
Nice.
And the more that dig up and things, my mouth sore. And that's why I say I go call later and tell you what going on. So I go join you after you close off the program. But I want to give thanks to all who was on board tonight to make the show very successful. I believe we are going in the right direction. Some people may agree, some people may disagree, but Pensign is the way to go. And if everybody will have the political views, we have no problem with that. You can agree or disagree. This is why we are successful. Yeah. So I'll talk. A special good night, and I'll talk to you guys after the show.
Well, bro, before you lock off, I want to really commend you on seeking your medical abroad, because only big boys does that. Only big boys could do that kind of thing. Go abroad for your medical, and that's so good. I wish I could, but I can't. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, supporters, sponsors, Debone Cargo Services out of Palsico Junction, Erica's Homestyle Fried Chicken and Living Cool Air Conditioning, and the Southwestern Action Group, the Birds Calypso Tent, the Missioners, Entertainers, all the community tents. So sad that we cannot call the relevant authorities as well, because we are still in the dark with whatever needs to be distributed. Guys, it was nice, and I want to personally, commend the gentleman tonight, as in moving forward. We will now recognize him as an aspiring politician, that we have to look forward to seeing and hearing a lot more from in the constituents of Lobre. He has an in-depth roadmap. He has a lot of recovery ideas for the constituents. I don't know if he want to extend it to the entire country, but
I Trinidadian too.
Right. But what I'm saying is that all right, let me give you a couple of minutes to wind up.
No.
Go ahead and go make your final comments, man. Like I talking to.
I would say that yes, I am fighting for the constituency of Labre. I will always fight for the constituency of Labre, but I'm a Trinidadian also. So my plans, my knowledge, my expertise, however I want to brand it, my ideas, I will always look to give it to Trinidad and Tobago, because my navel spring is buried here. And I love this country. Plenty of people ask me to leave the country and go somewhere else to make it, and I stay right here.
Brother Paul, mic is yours. Your final comments, my brother. I mean, Brother Black, sorry. And Brother Ishmael. Take a second and make your final comments.
Yeah, all I would say is I don't know if they could pull in the judiciary to the JSC. I don't know if that could happen. Pull them in and certain big people in the judiciary and question them.
One question.
That is what I
One question, Mr. Calendar. That particular entity that you making mention of, are they supposed to be politically aligned, or are they supposed to be independent?
Well, okay, I can say that. Okay. Sipasad, he said, a man in Tobago who has a business place, he put in a application for 7 years ago. And he gave a verdict, I think it was yesterday, he gave in the commissioner woman 7 days. So I want to know if is that, what you know use because I mean, you want to tell the commissioner now to appear in my jail, huh? So hence why I say this. I would like something to happen where I could pull in these big people in judiciary and ask them questions, because if Sikal said he could tell the commissioner, even have 7 days to give a man some gun license, which went in there a while ago. Give us 7 days.
No,
And
that's the reason why. That's the reason why I ask if these departments are they supposed to be independent or are they supposed to be politically aligned? And I want to believe that was clear as crystal. Anybody else could answer me?
Well,
straight up.
They are politically inclined. They are politically inclined.
The three arms of government. The judiciary falls under one arm, and the government of Trinidad and Tobago falls under the other arm. And they are not supposed to touch that. The separation of powers came when we got independence. So it's not supposed to have any political interference in the judiciary.
So that says it's supposed to be independent. Now that's the only way. That's the only way some justice. And it's not that I thank you. Not that I am trying to configure any situation here, but I want to let the listeners know that Mr. Frank C. Passad is one of my personal friends. I am connected to him very, very close. And basically, we have not seen each other for quite a number of years. And I know him practicing from San Fernando. And now he is a judge. And I am admiring him in the way he is conducting his job description. And that is based on the conversation that we had prior to now. And I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago that only under an independent system where the judiciary is concerned, politicians will be held responsible for their actions and for their wrongdoings. So I will continue to try to reach out to Mr. Frank as an independent mind, because remember, we have a constitution to amend, and I want citizens to have the same power to arrest, like how the police have power to arrest.
Yeah,
they call it citizens arrest.
Yeah.
And we, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, it is time for us, as Mr. Calendar making mention of, if the authorities can't do it, let the citizens start doing it. Politicians must be held responsible for the oath that you took, and in the way in which you are carrying about it at present. So guys, this is not no political aligned program. Feel free to contact us at 297-6756, and we have another number 327-8141 to call us to let us know what's taking place on your neck of the woods, to join the program, to leave a voice note, leave a comment, leave a text on your WhatsApp. And looking at the time, thank you, Mr. Russell, for Mr. Senior Counsel, for joining us, even though it's late. We still have to hear from Johnny Ishmael. Wake up, my brother, if you're sleeping, make your final comments, or we shut him down.
I am not sleeping. My last comment is that I would like to see the politicians of the day build on the foundation that the late Dr. Eric Eustace Williams leave, because if in his days there was 55 billion in the World Bank, come on, man, we should have 110 billion now. I saying that between me and you, I see them as not doing nothing at all, you know. You understand? That to wake up.
Well, this is
build on the foundation that the part of the nation.
Well, hold on. Let me give Jack the show here, though. Let me give Jack the show this now. Hold on. Hear this. We want to make it sound like no forum, right? So we give them that comment. We give you an applaud.
That was wonderful, man.
Right. So this is how we love to do it on Caribbean Pulse. We love to Give Jack your jacket. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much, listeners, home and abroad, wherever you at. Remember, what we fill our mind with forms our characteristics. Our responsibility as citizens, as parents, as grandparents, as our neighbors, keepers. Let us try to think independent. Do not allow any politicians to convince you where you should stain your finger again in moving forward. Once you're listening to the Fenceline Hardcore Community Broadcast, we will continue to strengthen you to make an individual effort to vote when you go to that voting station for your grandchildren, and not for any politician that going in there to live a glamorous life, forget about you for 5 years, refusing to complete the educational establishment known as the South Campus of the University of the West Indies, so that our children could have benefited from. And that alone is enough to never see the corridors of power in this democratic society that we live in under any government.
Because the very people of our education.
Under any government. And I will continue to speak for my people for the right thing. Good night, guys.
Good night.
So it's all about the Southwestern Action Group, Fenceline Hardcore Community Open Mic, brought to you every Tuesdays and Thursdays, right here on www.forevenpulse.net. And I'm your truly Mark Morris signing off and wishing you a safe night, productive tomorrow, please God, and on beyond. Remember, keep the station locked. We are broadcasting 24 hours. And, of course, good night to all our listeners out there in the US of A, Nigeria, wherever you are. So, music in the background, can we rise as a people?
Who shall socialist use? The big question confronting me and you. Can we rise? Can we rise? Like a people truthfully several lies. Can we rise? Can we rise? And wash out the blood and grind so we rise. Can we rise up from the bickering and backbiting that them politicians put the country in? Can we rise up from the racial hatred and spiting and people who talking about ethnic cleansing? Can we make the world look on, loving how we carry on this little island nation, demonstrating how it's done after Holy Bacchanal, demons singing carnival? Can we rise? Can we rise? Get the modern grind from we are. Trinbago, can we rise?
So Western Action Group presents the Fenceline Hardcore Community Open Mic segment right here on www.caribbean.
Attention, experience incredible new music.